guys, okay, you can see I'm using my little gizmo here, my third hand as they call it, to support the work. This is the cross, what do you call it, cross jack yard. Now, the instructions aren't super brilliant. They show 2 pulleys on this end plus a long one. This string across here with a like a bridge halfway from there to there. So it looked. What I did, I took a 2mm drill and propped it up in my clip thing here, and then tied the string around it to make a little loop. I don't know if you can see that little loop, and then use super glue to make a stand. I think it's meant to be a little bit more rigid than that. I've seen it done with the wire. I've also seen it done with those brass rings that you can get. Anyway, I'm just about to trim off the excess strings on here. Now, I need to get my magnifier down because I don't want to snip the wrong string. And unfortunately, one camera is not charged up at the moment. So, you just have to bear with me while I work out what all the loose strings are. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, that seems to be that end. That's done. So we come to here in the middle. Got black threads and white threads. It's not very. I used the wrong side of the pliers then. There we are. You can see also that the bead rack has been done as well, which is here. That's what's hanging off the middle there. I'll show you that in a minute. Good to get rid of all this excess thread. It's just what you use when you're making. Make sure you cut the right one, otherwise you're going to end up doing things again. Okay, so I looked down the instructions, if you like, as to what goes where and when. Now they show it in their pictorial. They show this at the front, like that, and everything else behind it. Now I've got to put another thread on here yet. Let's make sure to get these out of the way, because these will go around. The mast goes up the back here. This goes around the mast and ties it the other side, goes behind this hook. But in the middle is another piece of CT2. Make sure I get the right one. One of these has got a 2 on it, and I can't remember which one it is. 5. That's 6. This must be 2. Okay. It doesn't show me how long, it just shows me a length of it. So here's a length. And it goes around this away, just like that. and it says that this should be in the middle. So this I always find very confusing. There's the middle, I think. That's not the middle. I did have the middle marked. So let me see if I can find where it's marked on here. Take this out of the way. Yeah, you see, this is what you have to be careful of, is when you do this, that you don't trap these walking ropes. You see the walking ropes underneath? I just trapped them both. So we'll try again. That's why it wasn't gone in the middle. Okay. Of course, the easy way to get the middle is to measure it. So this is 50mm, half of that's 25, and that's right in the middle now. So there, it's in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just put a spot of glue right on the thread where they come together. Just to stop them moving about. Now, I'll put a bit of glue onto here a bit later as we get onto the fitting of how it's going to fit the ship. Okay, what I'm saying about these walkways is when sailors had to go up to the sails, they had to have somewhere walking along, so they held onto the yard, and their feet are on these ropes underneath, which is what the purpose of those are. Okay, so some preparation of the ship next, because the next bit is to actually take this up and put it on the ship. So come back to me in a minute, well, for you a few seconds, and we'll see what we have to do. Right then, this is going to be a very much a hit or miss type of situation here, I think. So I've got to try and keep my hands at the camera. So I want these strings to come up through this gap here. Easier said than done. I've got one. And it came up through the, didn't come up through the middle. I wonder if I can use my needle threader. No, we'll be able to see it. And give it a try. Ah yeah, It's not exactly pulling this threads up through a little hole. My biggest problem is getting my hands in there. Okay. I'm going to take this back out again. At this stage it doesn't matter which hole it goes through, I can change it later. Biggest problem is I can't see the thread where it comes through the hole. Stereoscopic vision is brilliant when it works. Okay, you can see basically that gets pulled up. In a position, but it's back to front. I need to rotate it round. Try and keep. If I did that 1,000 times, 999 times it would come out. The one time I'm using the camera, it doesn't want to go. And look at that, pull them both through at the same time, just like that. So, what we're going to do is just put a small knot on here, just to stop it falling back through the hole. You'll see what I'm getting at. Shivering a bit today, it's a bit cold in here. Right. That will stay up like that. That's a bit higher than I really want it at the moment. So the great thing is, because it's a slip knot, you can drag it down a little bit. Okay, while that's suspended there in midair, can you see that? Let me see if I can go back a bit. Yeah. That's suspended in midair. While it's like that, you take these strings around the back of the mast, bring them around to the other side. My problem is I've got two left hands, I think. That's what it feels like at times. You've got to make sure you don't trap that other string underneath it. Remember that string that you left dangling a long time ago, which has unravelled itself. Okay, so there's a high string and a low string. which is which. That's the high string. Pull it over the top. That's the low string. You can see that the yard will take up its own position around the mast. So basically we want a half knot on here. As I say, two left hands doesn't help. And they're starting to come unraveled, see? It's not that you've got two left hands, it's the fact that you want don't pull out. I need to make a bigger knot on here. Make it a double. Not too high. Down a bit, that's it. About there. Yeah. So these are the things that keep it at the yard close to the mast. Now what I'm going to do is just put a touch of glue onto the nut, with the half knot that I've made. I don't want it to stick to the wood yet. I need to get my magnifier where I can use it. Oh. So that's glue on the knot. It gets a little bit tricky the way they've done it. And then the next thing I'll do is clean up this string which dangles down from up above, which has got tied around the mast, and it's just become a mess in fact. Here it is. So I'll take it out. I'm going to make it kind of tidy. I guess we'll find the importance of this later. You can tell I'm not used to rigging. I don't know half the names of the rigging lines, but I'm finding them out as I go along. So I'm just rambling on while this glue is setting on here. Trying to take the knots out of this piece of thread. Okay. Now I had a look down these pictorial instructions that they give you. I'd look down to see what's coming up, because some of it really should be done earlier, I think, in the sequence to what they give it, because, well, you can see already the problems I'm having getting into the A to the mast, B to the ropes. And we're going to be putting some cleats and some hooks in. If you're going to put men onto the ship, the figures, naval figures, it would be advisable to try and do it earlier in the process as opposed to at the end. I think, anyway. Last thing you want is to be knocking things out of position while you're positioning men on a ship. I've got a knot in this thread that won't come out. Let me get my magnifier on it. I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Right then, I've snipped off the excess ropes here and pushed it behind the clip, and I've also secured this in position here. The next little job is to undo these temporary knots, what I put in. Could be a lot easier said than done. That's why it pays not to put tight knots in things. Okay, that's one half, and then the other half. Now, I saved myself a bit of trouble by bringing the ropes up through the right place in the first place. So this is now going to slide up the mast, he says, which I just did. The ropes separate, go the wrong way on each side of this central column. If I can get them to come up, come behind these clips. What's happened here? Oh, let's see. Somehow got behind that clip. Don't know how. Maybe with my hands. And that's where they're fastened, just there. At the back. Now, they can't go any higher because the cathar pins are right there. So that's its position. So put a half knot at the top here. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on it. And my problem is I can't get my magnifier into where, so I can see what I'm doing. Right, we'll let that set and I'll come back to you in a second. I just realised you couldn't actually see where I was gluing that. Right behind here, where my tweezers are pointing now, that's where I've just put some glue on the knot, and that's where those two ropes, one each side, come up and join. It shows on the instructions. I'm just going to check again. Yes, it is. That's where they join them up on there. Okay, now I need to find some more names of rigging because we're going to go from here to here and back again. Yeah, the interesting one's going to be some rigging has to be attached on here on where the rock lines are onto these shrouds. Something has to be attached there. Now, I'm going to have to do some investigation into that because I've never seen that before. Okay, back in a few seconds. So a little bit of investigation. This rope that comes from here up to this point is called a cross jack sling. This bit being the cross jack. And obviously a sling is something that holds something else up. So I'm just taking the excess string off. Got to be careful I don't cut the wrong string here. It's not easy, and I'm not left-handed. Right, that's the excess off. Now that's the cross jack sling. These from here to the corner of this cross jack are the cross jack lifts. So I'm just trying to position you so you can see what I'm going to be doing. You can see already I put the string on here. Keep calling it string. To me that's what it is. It's basically thread. We know it's meant to be rope. So. Okay. Now the fun part. So pick one of these. Let me see. I'll take this one. I don't think it makes any difference which one you use. Oops. Just got to get the threader through the hole. I've got several threaders here, so plenty of options. One of the options is not to tie it around the threader while you're trying to find the end. So through the threader, back out through the pulley, back up to this one up here. Through it goes. Find the end of the thread again, which is there. Do you know, guys, if I do, like I keep saying, if I do this 1,000 times, 999 times it'll be good. Then I'll put the camera on and things will go wrong. Like you can't find the hole in the threader. Now, you see I'm going to turn this around a little bit because I want this thread that just pull through there. It's got to go down through there. It's going to go down there. Because there's so many threads underneath. It's got to go down the inside of all these shrouds, because as they come onto the deck, I can feel it. Well, I can feel a thread. So many threads now that you've got to try and fathom out which thread does what. And I think, did I get this one right? Yes, I did. I had to make sure it was inside the shrouds, which I forgot to do when I put it in. So I think I was lucky there. Okay, let me thread this and I'll come back to you. Right, what I've done is I've brought both threads. That's not it. That's the other one. I think he's supposed to be right. Here's the second thread. So seems that one's gone down the back and one's gone down the front. Oh yeah, that needs to go inside the cathar pin on that side. Sorry folks, get my hands in the way again. Inside the cathar pin. How can I do this? The problem is that this rope here has got in the way. So here we are. That's it, inside the cathar pin. So it's going to go to the first pin on that side, and this one I've got the first pin on this side. And these are the cross yard lifts, as they're called. I just popped that thread off, but didn't pull it out. Now, these help to position the cross yard in the right place. Try and get them both evenly spread so it sits level. Seems to be it. Now, use my little super tools to put the ropes into position. So it's not easy when you haven't got a lot of space. But see where I can get my hands around. Okay. I hope you can see enough of what I'm doing. So once again I go left to right underneath. Keep some tension on the string so it can't pull back on you. Biggest problem is making sure it goes behind the pin. Okay, I'm back round again. I usually do 2 loops backwards and forwards, and then a little touch of super glue on the top. That's it for a second. That's fine. Now do the same on this side. For me that's going to be trickier because it's hidden from my view. It's hidden from your view as well. So I'll do it and I'll come back to you when it's done. I hope you can see on there that it's, let me just check what you're seeing. Right. You can see that the yard is fairly well fixed. It's quite level. Now I need to look at the plans to see what would do. These, as I say, there's some ropes come from here out to here. Don't know if this, yeah, they start here, come to here, and go down to another pulley here, and then they come down to the pins just inside here. I don't know if it's the cold or what, but you can see where those lines were nice and tight before, they've now gone kind of bouncy, but yeah, still looking okay. Okay, I'll come back to you when I see what I've got to do next. I'll try and show you freehand. So this rope goes from here to the back to this little pulley which I put on here and down, and you can see on the other side there it goes to the very first pin, both sides. Now the position of these isn't marked, except I use from their pictures this marker and this marker, and that's roughly where I've got them. So, and I made them the same on both sides, so it's even. Okay, I don't know what those are called. I'll try and find the names. I'm going to move on to the next step, and if I find the names I'll let you know what they are. Okay, the next little job is to prepare type A1 cannons. Now, one of these is type A1 and the other is type A2. They don't give you much guide as to which is which, except you've got 32 of one and 34 of the other. So I've counted them up. I've got 33 of this one and I've got 32 of this one, but I've already used 4 of these, which would have made it up to 36. So I'm guessing these are the A2s and these are the A1s. So these are the ones that we're going to do next. I have to cut a whole load of little bamboo sticks, stick these on and paint them. So I'll come back to you when I've got part of all of that done. You can see I've got a whole load of 30mm bamboo cut. I just will do this on the ends of each one as I use them. Just not to sit and do every single one on camera, but basically these get stuck on there like that, and then they've all got to be painted black. So I'll sit and do these. It should be my Saturday afternoon enjoyment, and I'll see you, well, in a few seconds for you, probably tomorrow for me. Okay guys, there's 30 type A1 cannons on their sticks, just been painted. I've gone down the sticks with a paint a bit because when they're in the holes you will see a little bit to stick behind the hole if you look closely. Okay, that's going to be me for today. I'll have a look at the plans, what's coming next, and come on to that in a few seconds for you. See you later. Last one where I put the cannons onto the sticks. I've drilled 2mm holes in the baseboard which is behind the cannon ports, and I've put the cannons in. Just use a little bit of Gorilla Glue on the end of the bamboo sticks. The other side's exactly the same. And we now move on to the Spanker sail. So I've done the surround on it, this extra rope that you put on and stitch it on, and I've put these little black threads in, and this extra material, which I don't know what you would call it, a strengthener I suppose. I guess these are wind indicators for when there's no wind or when there is wind. Oh, look, that one's not sitting very well. I'll correct that. I'll see what's happened. I just got to pull it out. Now I've got to attach the, I guess that's the Spanker rail. I've got to attach that to the sail. It goes about there. Got to watch where it hits on the end here. They're not very clear in their instructions. Okay, that's my next job. I shall carry on and do that. I'll come back to you when I've got that bit done. Hey guys, I got the yard arm attached to the sail. Must admit on their picture they show it with a lot longer tail up here, but I've done it to the length that they said. So don't know why their picture shows it different. Also, they got this end is right down close to the sail, but that's because when it goes on the mast, it hangs down. It's gonna, pardon me, it's gonna have rings again down this edge. So you can see on the picture there, it shows a long tail on here compared to the rest of it, but it's down at the beginning, which is what I've got. So okay, the next bit is to make up some pulley blocks. Just try to scroll the picture down so you can see. You can see here all the pulley blocks that have to be put on. So that's my next job. It probably won't be till tomorrow now. I'm going to have a break. I'll come back to it. For you, it's a few seconds. For me, it'll be tomorrow morning. See you then. Right, guys. See if I can do some of the work on here. I've marked up, not very well. I'm just finding my rubber. Rubber would be a nice thing to find. Yeah, so I'll mark this up again. I'm going to get 8 rings down here. The great thing with this is you can mark it with a pencil and then you won't see the pencil mark afterwards. So put one at the bottom down there and one at the top, which is there. So that's, let's say 11.5 centimeters. 11.5. And I've got to get another 6 in there. 6 at 11.5 is just under 2, so about 1.9, 5.7. 7.6. 1.9. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh dear. You would think that math used to be my strong point. So, put one at the bottom on 12, one at the top, and then you've got to get 6 in between, so that's every 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, got to add one on. It's 7, isn't it? It's not. I need to really rub these marks off. You can see they rub off alright. This is all to get some rings on. I can see I'm going to have to put another little stitch just on that edge there. Hold that in a bit. In fact, I might redo that whole edge just to give it extra grip before I put these rings on, because I'm going to use the rope that's around the outside to hold the ring in. Okay, so the first one's going to go up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got to get another one in there somewhere. Do 1.7. So 3.4. 5.1. 6.8. 6.8, 8.5, 9.5, 10.2. 6, 7, 8, there we go. That's really good to go. Okay, well, I'm just going to redo the sewing up this side so it's a little bit tighter than it was. I'll come back to you when I've got that done. Okay, I've strengthened up the stitch work on that side. That's this side here, and I've got the 8 3mm rings out. Now this is when I usually throw them all over the floor. I'm going to try and do this. Well, I'm going to try and do it on camera. Not easy. I'm under my magnifier, which is why you see the light moving about. So what you have to do is find the gap, open it up, and then get your position. I marked it with a pencil, so should be able to do it. And basically I want to catch the rope. There we are, it's through. Close it back up. And that, as they say, is that. Hope you can see that rings on there. Do that 7 more times and that'll be the rings positioned. My biggest problem is trying to pick these rings up. And then the next bit, having picked it up, is hold on to it while you open it up like that. It really is quite straightforward. Okay, back to me in a few seconds. Right guys, hope you can see that's 8 rings are in position. Now my next job is to make up all these little pulleys which are going to be put along this this yard. Okay, only in case of doing like I've done before, make little knots, tie them around the pulleys, hold them in place, and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready to put them on the yard. See you in a few seconds. Right guys, there we are. All the pulleys added to the yard. As we see, two of these, two 3-hole ones, a 2-hole one, and a single one. And these two, these are called vangs, I believe. So we'll see how it all goes together very shortly on the ship. Okay, in a second. Right guys, little bit of deck furniture time. I've got here, I hope you can see, this goes on the mast, and these little cleats, I suppose, one is for the deck and the other fibre for the mast. So it doesn't show me on the plan where on the mast the cleat should go. Fairly near the bottom, so it should be easy enough. But the circle part, the ring, goes 15 mils up from this this deck cover. So I've got a little piece of 15 mil here, which is going to be my measuring stick, if you like. I'm going to put that in there like that. No matter which way up it goes. And what I'm hoping is that I've measured it right, it will sit in there, and I know my hand's in the way, but that's where it's going to go. So let's get some nice long tweezers, which I've got here. Put a little bit of glue on the inside of it. You need this deck furniture to be able to put other things on later on. So, I guess I'm going to have to do it this way. So, I'm sorry if my hands are getting in the way, but my hands are like, I don't know what you call them. Pork sausages, I suppose. Yeah, that's 15 mil up. Try and get it. Oh, it came off in my hand. See? Right, that's only getting 15 mils. And by looking down from the top, I know I've got it evenly spaced front and back. I'll paint this mark on the mast. I'll paint that out in a few minutes. The next one's going to be trying to get these these cleats into position. Now, one I can put in position straight away is the one that's at the back here. So now I'm right-handed, which means if I try to do things by holding them in my left, I invariably drop them. Okay, a bit of glue on that. Now, right on the centre line, and I've already marked its forward position. Right there. That was a lot easier than I expected it to be. Now, the ones which go on the mast here, it's basically, it only shows me 3 on each side, so I guess that's what it gets. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. just the way the pictures show it. You think there's more, but I think it's just 3 on each side. So what I'll do is I'll put the middle one on. Really need 2 sets of tweezers to do this. I think that's fairly close to being central. They're the fun ones. These will definitely have to sit for a while to get well set before we try to use them. So this will probably be the last thing that gets done today. Try to get the right angle to get things done. Try again. That's one side. Not quite happy with that one. I think it should be more. There we go. That's one side. I'll go to the same on the other side if I can find the 3 pieces. Yeah, 1, 2 and 3. So I'll come back to you when I've got all 6 of these done. Right, as we got 3 on each side down here, the little hook at the back here, and a ring behind that. So that's the deck furniture done. That's got it set before I try to use them, obviously, which I think the next step is to actually mount the Spanker sail at the back. Yes, it is. This could be fun. What I'll do is I'll get the beads ready, and then we'll see where we go from there. Right guys, back to the bench again. We go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. That's the fun of shipbuilding. Okay, so somewhere I've got the string ready with a knot. Where did I put it? It's probably fallen on the ground, in which case I've got to make another one up. That's not a problem. The great thing with this is you can use the same piece of thread several times if you make it long enough, and if you cut off pieces which are long arms. But put some light on what I'm doing. You've got a little bloom there as it came on. Now this is about where I'm going to finish for the day when I get this on. If you like what I'm doing, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Which way around does this go? Let me just look at the picture. To go back up, it comes up from the bottom. Yeah, that's what I've done. Up from the bottom, so I want 6 beads on here. So you ever tried to pick up beads without trying to use a magnifying glass? Anyway, as I was saying, if you like what I'm doing, you want to follow on, then hit that subscribe button. When you subscribe, a little bell icon comes up. If you click on that, you'll be notified whenever any new videos are available on the channel. For me, that's normally a Monday and a Thursday evening. Hopefully I can get this one out tonight, being as it's Monday. You have to be careful when you're doing this that you don't put too much pressure on them, because they will fly. I'm trying to do it with my hand, just my hand. Of course it helps if you get the hole in the right orientation to the thread. You see that? I might just nip the end off this thread where it's getting a bit worn. This thread was the one that I used earlier to thread up beads and things, and this was the piece I cut off, so you see, never throw those bits away. Not when a usable length of string, rope, whatever you want to call it. Now, as for 6 beads, there we have 6 beads. Scoot them down a bit. Alright, I'm going to try and tie a knot underneath here. Hopefully my hand isn't so big that you can't see what I'm doing. I need to get around in a position where I can see what I'm doing. Just move this around a bit, just so I can see the knot. Right, I've got the knot. So the knot slipped before it reached the top. So hope that's not too bright on the camera. Okay guys, I'll come back to you in a few seconds. Right, I've got it in. Hope you can see that. It's, I can't tell what you can see at the moment until I look at it later on. But this should slide up and down, which it does. I think that's probably where I'm going to stop for today. Yeah, I've just looked at the monitor and I can see that you can see that. There's some, I'm guessing this rope now is going to come into play along here. But I need to look at the plan for that. This is going to sit away up in the air like that. Up here somewhere, right up there. It's going to sit, and you'll see that this will hang down into there. Quite a good representation. Okay, see you on the next one.